A very welcome all of you in today's weekly current affairs lecture. And this year, this week we're going to cover, these are some important topics. And now these are some technical topics. So I'll try to give you, for example, Article 1 and Article 2 are very technical in nature. But since they are in news, I'm going to discuss them. And so Article 1, 2, 3, and are related with economics. Okay, core economics. And in coming week, when I'll start economy, after internal security, we'll start with economics. So after that, I'll be covering these areas properly, and you'll be able to understand them even better. Today you'll understand this topic, but you'll understand even better. Then if you see 4, 5, 6, this labor code is also economics topic. Then this public places, all these are mostly related with polity and governance. Okay, so these are topics which are in news in this week. So in certain weeks, the important news are very few. Okay, so this week the news are only the analysis based. So let's understand and go ahead with that. The first is Indian economy going through stagflation? Now let me tell you about the whole concept of how what this article is talking about. Now in economics we measure a lot of data, and the data helps us to understand certain concepts or how economy is doing. For example, one in data is inflation. Inflation का मतलब महंगाई. So ideally in India we have two parameters through which we measure inflation. One is called CPI, other is called WPI. CPI is consumer price index. So we all are consumers. So it gives an idea. मतलब people like us who are involved in day-to-day purchase of items. So whether from our side inflation is there or not. Inflation का मतलब है general increase in the prices. Okay, general increase in the prices of goods and services. So this is a retail inflation, people for us. So CPI data will gives us an idea that whether inflation is there or not. WPI data is for manufacturing, mainly manufacturing, and it gives an idea of wholesale inflation. It is called wholesale price index. So inflation basically is a very important parameter. Why? Because inflation impacts your income. Let's say so rupees 100 rupees is there. Now you want, and there are 10 rupees of chocolate that you purchase out of 100 rupees. So out of that 10, you can purchase 10 chocolate. Now imagine a situation where the price is increased by 10%, okay, of the chocolates. So now every chocolate is available at 11 rupees. So how many per chocolate now you can purchase? Now chocolate is at 11 rupees. So you see कि chocolate का जो price है वो 10% से बढ़ गया, and every chocolate is costly by 1 rupee. Now how many chocolates you can purchase? Only 9. So earlier you were purchasing 10 chocolates, now you're purchasing 9 chocolate. Now what does it means? That in the same 100 rupees now you can purchase less. You can purchase less. So this means that inflation impacts your purchasing power. आपकी जो खरीदने की क्षमता है वो impact हो जाती है. If the prices go up and your income is stable or fixed, if the income is not changing, then it is bad for you. Secondly, it also leads to decrease in the value of money. Okay, what does it mean? It means that earlier with 100 rupees you could purchase 10 chocolate. Now with 100 you are purchasing 9 chocolate. In the same 100 rupees, आप उसी 100 rupees में आप कम purchase कर पा रहे हो, which means the value of money has come down. So another aspect or another way of understanding inflation is that you can purchase less in the same amount of money, which means purchasing power भी आपकी कम हो गई है, and at the same time the value of money, the money will remain the same, but in that money you can purchase less, which means there is a decrease in the value of money. So inflation is very bad for common people. India का जो top bottom 50% population है, they have meager income, very less income. Okay, for example, in India the average income is $2,000. Okay, which means an average Indian is earning just 1,50,000 rupees in a year. Okay, and if I do, अगर मैं इसको और अच्छे से देखता हूँ, so you can say that not more, you are earning 12 to 13,000 rupees every month. Average income तो इतना ही है. Now there are people who are rich. there are certain people who are earning just 4-5,000 rupees. And agar inflation बढ़ता है, if the prices of the goods and service go up, so they will face the brunt of this. The inflation is bad for people with less income or fixed income. It mostly impact the poor, वो poor को impact करता है, and the lower middle class more. Okay, impact तो सबको करता है. It will impact you and me as well, but it will impact more the poor people and lower middle class, and that is where inflation is, high inflation is bad for economy. So inflation, if it is in the range of 4-5%, it is good. इतना चलता है. Okay, 4-5% average increase in the price, 4-5% every year is okay. Why? Because आपका salary भी 8-10% हर साल बढ़ता है. Okay, so let's say you're working, you're doing a job, your salary. So salary mostly increased by 8%, 10%. So 4-5% से अगर price भी ऊपर होता है, then it is okay. But imagine a situation, inflation going up by 10%, 15%, 20%. Then this is bad for the economy. Okay, so inflation is a very important data, and inflation gives us an idea that how economy is doing, and inflation also tells or maybe indicates to the government that you have to control inflation. In a welfare economy, it is the objective of the government कि inflation को हम control करें, and because high inflation will have a detrimental impact on the majority of the people. जैसे अभी है, if you look around, I don't know how many people go and purchase the groceries, but if you go outside today, the fruits and vegetables, fruit is okay, but vegetables are very costly. Okay, why? Because the rainy season almost has ended, and the new vegetables are about to come. So next month सस्ता हो जाएगा, but right now it is very costly. Why? Because the supply of vegetable is less. So there could be multiple reasons. Now common people will not say common people will not understand this. उनका कहना होगा, अरे we are not getting food, the price is so, the basic item is so costly, and that is where government should intervene, and they should try to ensure that the prices are controlled. Okay, so this is the basic concept of inflation, and inflation should be, तो 4-5% inflation होता है तो it is okay, but if crosses 5%, then it is a worrisome concern. तो हमें inflation को एक basic level पे रखना जरूरी है. 4-5% is okay. Now, is economy going through inflation, stagflation? अभी stagflation क्या है, उससे पहले एक और concept समझते हैं. Inflation, as I said, is a concept. Okay, very good question. So Prithvi has a question: why inflation occurs in the economy? Inflation happens because, so there are multiple reasons when there is an increase in demand. If the demand increases but supply is less, so then there could be inflation. Okay, or there is a problem in the supply side shock. Supply shock can also be there. Let's say vegetables, fruits, the supply is very less. So in that situation, the supply could be there. Or inflation could be caused by increase in the input cost. For example, government ने tax बढ़ा दिया. Okay, so that can all cause taxes. Let's say item is 100 rupees, and government say I will impose 5 rupees extra tax on this. Earlier the tax was 10 rupees, now 5 rupees more. So इसमें आप कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हो. Tax has gone up. Or the raw material is costly now. The labor is now asking for higher wages, labor cost. Okay, so inflation could be increased due to multiple reasons, either increase in the demand or increase in the input cost. Increase in the input cost could be input cost for the manufacturing cost. Let's say you have mobile phone, so government imposes the high tax on that. Okay, so the prices will go up. Raw material are costly. Raw material could be costly because of multiple factors. Okay, labor is asking for more wages, so this will increase the input cost. So basically these are the factors for change in inflation. Many a time inflation can be caused by external factor. For example, the oil prices internationally go up. जो भी आपका oil है, crude oil, more than 80% of the oil that we have in India that we use regularly, it is coming from outside. हम बाहर से खरीदते हैं. So when you purchase oil from outside, अगर international oil का price ऊपर चला जाता है, अगर international oil का price ऊपर चला जाता है, so it will become difficult for you to purchase. और अगर आप, but oil is an essential thing, you will purchase. Now let's say you have a motorcycle, or you have a two-wheeler, or you have a four-wheeler. Okay, and if the oil prices go up, everything will go up because सब कुछ oil price से linked है. The transportation will become costly, the air fares will go up, the cost of train operation cost will go up, everything will go up. So these are the reason why the inflation might happen. So यहाँ क्या करना, government will have to do something. Government will have to do something. Government will have to regulate here. Government will have to take some measures here. So these are the normal factor. Okay. There could be other reason also. The inflation can happen due to problems or the issues of money supply. If more money is supplied, if the money supply is more, agar money supply बढ़ जाएगा, then also inflation can happen. Now let's take an example. So let's say money supply in the economy is X and the goods and services are Y. Now money increases, RBI prints extra money, okay, but on ground nothing has changed. So production उतना ही हो रहा है, Y goods and services. Now what has happened? Earlier Y was available at X money. Now nothing has happened on ground except RBI has printed more money and added to the economy. Now what you can see here is that now same Y is available at X plus A money. मतलब ये है कि पहले Y X rupees में मिल रहा था, अभी Y is available at X plus A. So X plus A, which means it is costly now. Okay, so this is also inflation. So inflation can also happen when there is an increase in money supply. Money कभी भी print होता है economy में. Money, how much money should be there in the economy? It should be based on economic activity. अगर money ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, then it is bad. Why? Because if money supply is more than the economic activity, it might impact the economy because inflation might go up. तो जभी भी money supply हम बढ़ाते हैं, who does all that? RBI takes control that. तो RBI can also look at the inflation data. RBI हमेशा inflation data को check करता है, and when they check the inflation data, what exactly they do? That they try to regulate the money supply. वो money supply को, if inflation is high, inflation मान लो 7% हो गया. Now RBI is concerned, inflation is 7%. Now what RBI can do? It can decrease money supply. वो money supply को कम कर देगा. Okay, it has a lot of tools, बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. Okay, it allows bank not to give money to people like that. So it has a lot of ways in which it can reduce. अभी money supply जैसी कम होगा, demand will come down. और demand कम होगा, the prices will also come down. Okay, so there are multiple reasons why inflation might happen. Because the increase in demand has gone up, but supply has is less. For example, अभी winters आने वाला है. In winters, the demand for eggs go up. Demand for egg बढ़ जाता है. Okay. Prithvi has a question. 20 lakh crore is dumb. No, it is Prithvi. The 20 lakh crore which you are talking about, it will not it will not be added like this. It will be added slowly. Okay. It's not that it is added at one go. Okay. So inflation, yes, increase in money supply. If government, now when can inflation happen? If government also increase money supply, government भी तो money बढ़ा देगा. As per Atmanirbhar package, government of India is pumping money in the economy. Now this can also cause inflation. Okay, so this can also cause inflation. Okay, Santosh has a very good question. Who is responsible for slowdown? Santosh, who is responsible? Government of India or COVID-19 is responsible? A virus which is invisible is responsible. Okay, so this is how the economy can be understood. So money supply can increase in money supply can also cause inflation. अभी inflation जब होता है और inflation. Now remember, there is one more thing. There is a relation between growth and inflation. Okay, or we can say price stability. Inflation हमें regulate करना है. Let's try and understand. Now, so economic growth is desirable. Okay, because economic growth means more job. economic growth, economic growth means more demand. So we need economic growth, but economic growth comes at a cost. Because if the demand will go up, the prices might also go up. So this can cause inflation. So whenever the economic growth happens, remember, so economic growth is always accompanied by inflation. जब भी इकोनॉमी ग्रो करती है तो इन्फ्लेशन भी होता है. Now that is very natural. Now question comes in that what is the degree of inflation? हमें कितना हमें क्या करना चाहिए? Now the problem here is that if we try to control the inflation, the economic growth might suffer because हम क्या करेंगे? मनी सप्लाई कम कर देंगे. In economic growth we need increased money supply also. Okay, हमें money supply, money supply also needs to be increased, because if we increase money supply, then only people will have money. Let's say I go to the bank and bank gives me loan, which means it means that money supply is increasing in the economy. So that is desirable. हमें वो चाहिए. It is good. When people will have money in their hand, people have money, आपके हाथ में पैसा आएगा, so it will increase demand. और यही हमें चाहिए, हमें डिमांड भी चाहिए. But there is a problem. If inflation crosses a limit, अगर inflation एक लिमिट को क्रॉस करता है, then it might be counterproductive. The same inflation might impact, economic growth in long run. तो हमें economic growth and inflation, they are opposite to each other. Moment you try to increase economic growth, inflation, you try to improve economic growth, inflation also goes up. आप जैसे inflation are not opposite, they are interlinked rather. Okay, so moment you try to control inflation, economic growth will also come down. तो अभी हमको क्या करना है? हमें इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ को बढ़ाना है एंड इन्फ्लेशन को कंट्रोल करना है. बट इट इज लाइक अ सी सॉ. ओके, आपने उस यू मस्ट हैव देयर इज अ सो इफ यू ट्राई टू इंक्रीज इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, वी हैव टू इंश्योर टू थिंग, दैट इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ भी अच्छा होना चाहिए एंड इन्फ्लेशन शुड आल्सो बी कंट्रोल्ड. इन्फ्लेशन को हमें कंट्रोल करके रखना है एंड इट इज अ वेरी टफ टास्क बिकॉज यू हैव टू बैलेंस इट. ओके, so the problem, what exactly the problem happens that government क्या करती है? So who controls inflation? Inflation control करने के लिए there are two main bodies. One is Government of India and second is RBI. Now mainly it is RBI which is looking at inflation control. अभी RBI क्या करती है? RBI ने अपना रेंज बना रखा है and that is called inflation targeting. RBI ये कहती है that inflation अगर 4 ±2% के रेंज में है, then it is okay, which means inflation is between 2 to 6%. अगर inflation इस रेंज में है तो we are okay, but inflation crosses this 6%, then we will have to intervene. But RBI की एक और बात देखनी है that if they are trying to control inflation and in that inflation control if economic growth is impacted, वो भी उनको देखना है. Okay, so they can't they can't do anything, because when they try to control inflation at the same time economic growth might be impacted. अगर growth पे focus करेंगे तो inflation ही बढ़ सकता है. So they have to take a very balanced approach, and one of the approaches which RBI always follows is that उन्होंने कह दिया कि भी हम inflation इस range में रखेंगे and that is our target. If moment inflation reaches 6%, we'll have to control the inflation, because if we don't control the inflation, it will have a negative impact in the economy in long run. Because जो poor लोग हैं, they will not be able to survive. People who are rich, who have higher salaries, they might not be impacted. उनके में भी impact पड़ेगा, but कम पड़ेगा. But others, it gets impacted. Okay, so we have to ensure that inflation is regulated and controlled. और यहाँ पर क्या, अच्छा, अभी मैंने आपसे क्या कहा? I said that inflation and growth are interlinked. कहने का मतलब ये है कि जब भी inflation होता है, or so you can say whenever there is economic growth, inflation also happens. Now question is why? It is because economic growth means demand है economy में, और जब demand होगा तो inflation automatically होगा. But there is another typical term called stagflation. Stagflation का मतलब है stagnation plus inflation. Stagnation means low economic growth or subdued economic growth, and inflation means increase in prices. Now what did I explain? मैंने क्या बताया? मैंने बताया कि जब इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ होता है तो इन्फ्लेशन भी होता है, बट यहां देखो क्या हो रहा है. हियर इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इज नॉट हैपनिंग, इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ नहीं हो रहा है, and inflation is also happening. Normally when there is a inflation, the economic growth also, sorry, whenever there is a economic growth, inflation also happen. But yahan kya ho rakha hai? Economy is down and inflation is also high. Now it is a catch-22 situation. abhi aap karo kya? Because moment you try to increase the inflation, manage the inflation, aap kya karoge? Money supply ko kam karoge, aur money supply ko jab kam karoge to economic growth bhi impact ho jayega, because already low economic growth hai, it might go even lower. आप इकोनॉमी को रिवाइव करोगे एंड यू माइट ट्राई टू इंक्रीज मनी सप्लाई, इट विल कॉज मोर इन्फ्लेशन. सो मेनी अ टाइम्स व्हेन सच सिचुएशन इज देयर, यू चूज द लेसर एविल. आप दोनों में से ये एनालाइज करते हो दैट व्हिच ऑफ दीस इज लेसर एविल. हाई इन्फ्लेशन इज बैड फॉर द इकोनॉमी एंड लोअर इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इज आल्सो बैड फॉर द इकोनॉमी. सो यू ट्राई टू चूज अ लेसर एविल कि इसमें से कौन सा ज्यादा खराब है और ज्यादा चैलेंजिंग है. So many a times government might have to take a call that they will have to maintain economic growth even at the cost of high inflation, or they have to increase economic growth even at the cost of high inflation. So this is what happens in normal situation. But अभी क्या हो रखा है? Try to understand. अभी मुझे एक बात बताओ everybody, जो मैंने अभी समझा है, whatever I have explained till now, is it clear to everybody? The concept of demand, money supply, inflation जो मैंने बताया है वो समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? Remember, it is a typical concept. ओके अभी अभी आपको मैं जब इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ाऊंगा तो ये सारा कंसेप्ट क्लियर हो जाएगा. लॉट ऑफ पीपल मस्ट बी फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम. ओके जिनको प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है कैन अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज जो मैंने आपको पढ़ाया है वो यूजली आई टीच इन फॉर वन लेक्चर. मैंने आपको 5-10 मिनट से पढ़ाया, मैंने पूरा एक लेक्चर में आपको पूरा एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. ओके सो समझ में आया सभी लोगों को? इन्फ्लेशन, मनी सप्लाई कंसेप्ट, व्हाई इन्फ्लेशन इज हैपनिंग? Anybody facing problem? Because I can go slow. If needed, I can cover topics tomorrow also. Clear? Good, good. Now, this article is very technical. Okay, so Ayushi has a question: how can increase in money supply can increase inflation? Okay, good question. चलो आयुषी आपका डाउट ले लेते हैं. So मनी सप्लाई मान लो आयुषी एक्स है और मान लो 10 लाख करोड़ है इकोनॉमी के अंदर, एंड गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज मान लो ये एक्स है, 10 लाख करोड़ ऐसे लेना ठीक है. ये गुड्स एंड सर्विस वाई है. तो ये जो मनी सप्लाई है इसको हमने बढ़ा दिया. आरबीआई ने बहुत सारा एक्स्ट्रा नोट प्रिंट कर दिया ओवरनाइट. ठीक है, अब देखो अगर मैं केस 1 लेता हूं, इफ आई टेक केस 1, इन केस 1 व्हाट आई सी दैट वाई अमाउंट ऑफ गुड्स इज अवेलेबल एट एक्स रुपीज. मनी क्या करता है? व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ मनी? मनी इज अ मीडियम ऑफ एक्सचेंज. मनी इज अ मीडियम ऑफ एक्सचेंज एंड हाउ मच मनी शुड बी देयर, कितना मनी होना चाहिए, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट इज द लेवल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी और व्हाट इज द लेवल ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. तो ये जो एक्स वाई गुड्स जो है उसका प्राइस एक्स होना चाहिए. whatever is the goods and services, उसका जो वैल्यू है उतना ही मनी सप्लाई होना चाहिए. Because what you are doing, you are replacing the value of goods and services with money. That is what you are doing. मनी में यही करते हैं ना. ठीक है, तो why goods and services available at X rupees? Now आरबीआई ने क्या किया? ओवरनाइट दे पम्प्ड लॉट ऑफ न्यू मनी, नया मनी उन्होंने इकोनॉमी में डाल दिया. एंड इफ दे एडेड न्यू मनी बट ओवरनाइट गुड्स एंड सर्विस नहीं चेंज हुआ, गुड्स नहीं बढ़ा. नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट होल इकोनॉमी. अभी केस 2 में क्या हुआ? देखो केस 2 में क्या हुआ. अर्लियर y was available at x rupees. Now same y is available at x plus a, यानी x plus a is more than a. okay, x plus a rupees जो है, जो भी होगा, मान लो lakhs करोड़ होगा, 1000 rupees होगा, जो भी होगा. Now the same y is available at x plus a. आपने कुछ भी इकोनॉमी कुछ भी नहीं किया, you just printed more money in the economy, and moment you printed more money in the economy, the same goods is available at higher price, and this is called inflation. तो मनी सप्लाई जब आप बढ़ाओगे ना आयुषी, तो ऑटोमेटिकली इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि इसका एग्जांपल देखो, इफ यू ऐड मोर मनी सप्लाई इन द इकोनॉमी, तो वो मनी किसके पास जाएगा? वो आपके पास जाएगा, राइट? आपके पास जाएगा, राइट? नाउ दिस मनी, ये जो ए एक्स्ट्रा मनी मैंने प्रिंट किया, ए एक्स्ट्रा मनी, ये कहां जाएगा? इट विल गो टू द पॉपुलेशन, आपके हाथ में जाएगा, इट विल गो इन योर हैंड, ठीक है? और जब व्हेन इट गोज इन योर हैंड, यू हैव मोर मनी। आपके पास जब पैसा ज्यादा होता था, आप क्या करते हो? व्हाट डू यू डू व्हेन यू हैव मोर मनी? डू यू स्पेंड और नॉट? When unexpectedly you get more money that you were expecting, then what do you do? मान लो आप कहीं घूमने जा रहे हो and you expected that your father will give you 5,000 rupees, but suddenly your father gave 8,000 rupees. तो आप क्या करोगे? आपका सारा प्लान चेंज हो जाएगा ना. Suddenly you'll have, okay, I'll purchase this also, I'll purchase this as well. So when this extra money जो इकोनॉमी में आया, वो आपके हाथ में आएगा, so it will increase demand. डिमांड बढ़ेगा, और जब डिमांड बढ़ेगा तो प्राइसेस भी बढ़ेगा. Which is, when the demand increases, the prices will also go up. Okay, this concept is clear to you, Ayushi? Money supply बढ़ने से कैसे inflation बढ़ता है? Is it clear now? Okay, so वही मैं explain कर रहा हूँ. तो जब inflation बढ़ता है ना, तो RBI क्या करती है? RBI does not want, RBI want to revert from case 2 to case 1. तो RBI क्या करती है? RBI sucks money from the economy. RBI कहती है मनी को मुझे निकालना पड़ेगा, otherwise inflation will be bad for the economy. Okay, so that is the typical question. Ankit, there's a question: how is money pumped into the economy by RBI? There are multiple ways, Ankit. One way is through banks. One way is through banks. Mainly it is via banks and financial institutions. ठीक है? So mainly it is through banks and financial institutions. दूसरा, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया भी कर सकती है. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, अभी आज गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया? गवर्नमेंट gave 10,000 rupees to all the government employees, central government employees. कितने employees है? 40 lakh employees है. Okay, फिर उन्होंने और भी कुछ LTC का कैश करने का ऑप्शन दे दिया. You can cash the LTC, you can purchase online only, and you can put the GIL. आपको GST बिल पे करना पड़ेगा. तो अब यहाँ देखो क्या है. So ये जो मनी है, ये आपके हाथ में आया, राइट? So this money will also increase demand. और गवर्नमेंट क्या चाहती है? गवर्नमेंट वांट टू इंक्रीज डिमांड राइट नाउ. बट अभी क्या है? इन्फ्लेशन भी जा रहा है. अभी देखो, अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रखा है? राइट नाउ इन्फ्लेशन इन इंडिया इज मोर देन 6%. इट इज मोर देन 6%. ओके, 6% के आसपास है. तो एक कैच 22 सिचुएशन है. इफ वी ऐड मोर मनी टू द इकोनॉमी, देन इट विल कॉज इन्फ्लेशन. बट गवर्नमेंट, आरबीआई का कहना है कि ये जो अभी का इन्फ्लेशन है, दिस इन्फ्लेशन इज मेनली ड्यू to certain food items, and these will cool off and the inflation will be controlled. The inflation is not due to demand, because income low ke impacted COVID-19 period mein. Okay, so so that is a problem. तो अभी क्या हो रखा है? इन्फ्लेशन भी बढ़ रहा है, बट इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ भी डाउन हो रहा है. So this is a typical situation of stagflation, or government of India will have to ensure that this situation is controlled. Now government of India and RBI both will do that. ठीक है? तो अभी RBI ने क्या किया है? RBI का टारगेट जो पहले था, वो इन्फ्लेशन टारगेटिंग उनका पॉलिसी था. And they said that if inflation is 4 ± 2%, तो हम रिलैक्स रहेंगे. Okay, if inflation is more than this, then we will intervene heavily. Now RBI को एक और काम करना है. They have to ensure there is an adequate money supply in the economy. उनको adequate money supply भी चाहिए economy में, because if the money supply is less, that might impact the available of money and credit in the economy. अगर money नहीं होगा economy में, तो लोग लोन नहीं ले पाएंगे, and if they don't take loan, they might not be able to expand business. अभी क्या हो रखा है? That right now we are expecting festivals. So Dussehra and Diwali. So these are the two festivals coming in the next 1 month. And this 1 month is a very crucial period for demand in the economy. And government is expecting that economy might able to recover. So that is where government wants that people should pay, should go and spend money. But already inflation भी ज्यादा है. तो आरबीआई का कहना है कि ये जो इन्फ्लेशन ज्यादा है ना, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टेन फूड आइटम। ओवरऑल इन्फ्लेशन, हम मनी, उनका आरबीआई का कहना है कि हम मनी सप्लाई बहुत ज्यादा तो नहीं बढ़ाएंगे, बट वी विल वी विल स्टिल इंश्योर देयर एडिक्वेट मनी सप्लाई। हम मनी सप्लाई को कम नहीं करेंगे, विल नॉट डू एनीथिंग विच विल रिड्यूस मनी सप्लाई। ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट हैज बीन डिस्कस्ड हियर। अभी एक तो इकोनॉमी भी डाउन है, और दूसरा मनी सप्लाई जो भी है आपका, मान लो एक्स, जो भी एक्स वाई जेड जो मनी सप्लाई है, वो मनी सप्लाई को हम कम नहीं करेंगे इवन दो इन्फ्लेशन इज हाई, बिकॉज आरबीआई को लगता है कि जो इन्फ्लेशन है उसका रीजन कुछ और है। ओके, उसका इन्फ्लेशन का रीजन है मे बी सर्टेन फूड आइटम्स, और वो फूड आइटम्स का प्राइसेस कूल ऑफ हो जाएगा। एंड आरबीआई इज आल्सो आल्सो सेइंग वन मोर थिंग, दैट ये जो पूरा सिचुएशन है, दिस होल सिचुएशन इज डिफरेंट। In this COVID-19 period, all the traditional rules of the economy में जो भी हमारे traditional rule of the economy है, they all have changed. The traditional rules of the economy are not working. Whatever were the traditional rules of the economy, what were the traditional rule of the economy? That when the money supply will increase, the demand will increase. What if I increase the money supply but demand is not increasing? Why? Because during COVID-19, people are not spending, they are holding. तो गवर्नमेंट क्या चाहती है? गवर्नमेंट चाहती है दैट यू गो आउट एंड स्पेंड द मनी, व्हाटएवर मनी यू हैव। ओके, गवर्नमेंट वांट दैट इन्वेस्टमेंट शुड बी इंक्रीज, गवर्नमेंट वांट दैट डिमांड शुड बी इंक्रीज, कंजम्पशन डिमांड शुड बी इंक्रीज। जब डिमांड बढ़ेगा देन ओनली इकोनॉमी विल सर्वाइव। ओके, सो राइट नाउ इट इज अ न्यू नॉर्मल, और यू कैन से मे बी थिंग्स आर नॉट गोइंग वेल, बट गवर्नमेंट इज वेरी कंसर्न, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट नोज, गवर्नमेंट ये भी कह रही है, now remember government has opened all the economy at this point of time, government has practically opened everything in the economy, but still economy is not 100% open. Why? Because government has also put restriction on anything which is which has community, बहुत ज्यादा community यहाँ involvement है, वहां वो नहीं चाहते हैं, because festival season, अभी जो festival season होगा, this festival season will involve a lot of people coming out. There's Durga Puja, there is Dashera, there is a whole Ram Leela happening across different part of India. Then the Deepavali will come, so people will hoard to the shops. Okay, so that is what government want. But at the same time, government is saying that be very cautious. Maintain social distancing, use mask. At the same time, they also do not want that economy should suffer, because उनको पता है कि अगर लोगों ने social distancing follow नहीं किया, then there will be a problem. Because again, the post festival, the prices will go up like anything. Okay, so this article basically discusses that ये technical article है. One more thing I'm saying, that if you do not understand this article, don't worry, because this article का जो understanding है, you will understand only when you reach the end of the economics lectures. इसमें बहुत सारे ऐसे concepts हैं जो आपको अभी मैं समझाने की कोशिश भी करूंगा तो नहीं आएगा, because for that I have to give a detailed discussion. So right now, what this article is saying, in short, in maybe in 2 lines, that RBI is saying that inflation in India we are having right now, it is going to cool off in the coming month. वो prices जो है कम हो जाएंगे, and at the same time, RBI is not going to do something drastic, because if they reduce money supply, अगर वो money supply को कम करते हैं, if they try to reduce, it will be counterproductive. Okay, and that is what this article says. Now let's understand and read the article, and you'll get a better picture. After RBI's adoption of flexible inflation targeting, it has become more focused on anchoring inflation expectation than ever before. Okay, but COVID-19 pandemic has created a dilemma for RBI. Okay, why? Because we have higher than anticipated inflation. जो RBI क्या करती है, हमेशा inflation को they have a trend for inflation, वो future trend plan करते हैं, and they predict that coming 6 months में inflation क्या होगा, and what they predict, and based on their prediction they have a stance. But what has happened that right now mostly जो उनका prediction होता है उसके वो आसपास होते हैं. But what has happened in the COVID-19 period, the prediction is more, the inflation is more than the prediction, because आप देखो ना, economic activity is less. इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी इज लेस, नॉर्मल से कम है, बट इन्फ्लेशन इज हाई, महंगाई तो अभी भी है. When economic activity is less, which means demand is less. How come prices are high? How come prices are high? अगर डिमांड कम है तो प्राइस भी कम होना चाहिए, बट दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग. सो दैट इज वेयर गवर्नमेंट इज कंसर्न, आरबीआई इज कंसर्न दैट इसके लिए क्या करें. बट आरबीआई कहती है नहीं, ये कंसर्न नहीं है. व्हाई? बिकॉज दिस इन्फ्लेशन दैट वी सी इज मेनली बिकॉज ऑफ द फूड प्राइसेस which will cool off, and demand is not going to increase in the coming 6 months very high. So demand धीरे धीरे बढ़ेगा, economy is going to be normal, but whatever inflation will happen, even with the increase in demand, that will, inflation बहुत ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, because food prices, whatever the prices are going up, they will be controlled as the new supply comes in. जो नया supply है, fruits, vegetables, whatever, moment the new supply comes in, then inflation will get controlled. So जो traditional rules हैं वो work नहीं कर रहे हैं right now. The traditional economic principles are not working, and at this point of time government is concerned वो क्या करे. जो भी trend है, expectation है, वो नहीं हो रहा है. Okay, so one way, अभी how does RBI measures inflation? RBI measures inflation by two approaches. One is the CPI. It is called Consumer Price Index. Okay, this is CPI, Consumer Price Index, and this CPI is the basis for RBI's policy. Okay, is the basis for RBI's policy. Okay, so inflation targeting is based on a nominal consumer price index. तो अगर what RBI says that ये CPI जो है 4 ± 2% के रेंज में रहेगा, which means 2 to 6% के बीच में रहेगा. 4 - 2 is 2, 4 + 2 is 6. So if the inflation is in this range, अगर महंगाई इस रेंज में रहती है, inflation rate, okay, if the inflation rate is between 2 to 6%, then RBI, RBI will take policy to keep inflation in this range. अगर RBI, if the inflation crosses this limit, इसको क्रॉस अगर करता है, then RBI will have to, हम क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे RBI से कि how come the inflation is outside the target. Okay, so inflation targeting is particularly challenging if it coincides with sharp increase in headline CPI as in the current trend. तो अभी जो है, जो CPI है वो थोड़ा बढ़ रहा है, and here government RBI is looking at ways how to do that. अभी inflation measure करने के multiple parameters हैं. One is CPI, ये RBI का main parameter है. This question came in this year prelims also. The second is WPI. WPI is mostly used by Government of India. The third is of course GDP deflator. Okay, so all these are three indicators, but RBI सिर्फ इसी को लेती है. RBI takes only this into consideration, assuming that this is the best indicator. But problem क्या हो रहा है, that CPI is heavily food based. CPI जो हम आप लोग हैं, हमारा lot of our money expenditure goes on food items. Okay, so since our expenditure goes on food items, so we are automatically depend on the food items. तो अगर food item महंगा होगा, if food is costly, then CPI will go up, but WPI will not go up. Remember, WPI will be less up. Okay, so there are multiple parameters which will decide. तो अभी के लिए this article, if you are reading, just try to understand that this article has certain technicalities. तो अभी के लिए आप इसको अभी छोड़ सकते हो इस आर्टिकल को. I would advise you to leave the article right now, because to explain this article you have to understand multiple things. You have to understand the whole concept of inflation. You have to understand the RBI's monetary policy system. Okay, and it will take a lot of concepts. तो अभी के लिए आप इतना सोचो जो मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया है. CPI कुछ भी नहीं होता बेटा. CPI, हम इन्फ्लेशन कैसे मेजर करते हैं, मेजरमेंट ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन. तो CPI क्या है, एक CPI इज इट इज अ बास्केट. ये एक बास्केट है. तो ये बास्केट का जो प्राइस है, this reflects the price reflects the inflation in the economy. मान लो ये जो ये बास्केट है, जो भी इसका है, मान लो 1500 रुपीज का बास्केट है. सो आरबीआई मेजर करता है कि ये बास्केट का कॉस्ट 1500 से कितना बढ़ता है, हाउ मच. ओके, इफ इट इंक्रीजेस बाय up to 6%, then okay, RBI will have to ensure that this inflation does not goes beyond the 6%. तो जो इन्फ्लेशन हम मेजर करते हैं, तो वी जस्ट मेजर ऑफ द बास्केट ऑफ आइटम दैट कॉमन पीपल आर यूजिंग. तो ये जो सीपीआई है, इट इज फॉर कॉमन पीपल. ओके, सो दैट इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन टारगेटिंग. फिलहाल के लिए व्हाट आई वुड एडवाइज दैट लीव दिस आर्टिकल राइट नाउ बिकॉज इट इज वेरी टेक्निकल. मुझे लगा मैं समझा दूंगा, बट देन आई फेल्ट लाइक व्हाट आई एम फीलिंग राइट नाउ, बिकॉज for this article to understand, you have to read multiple topics. You have to have a good understanding of inflation. You have to understand the RBI's role. और ये पूरा मुझे समझाने के लिए I need at least 3 to 4 lectures. Sorry, 2 to 3 lectures. तो इसको आप फर्स्ट आर्टिकल को अभी छोड़ दो. I'll try again tomorrow because I'm sure you must be having a lot of doubts in your mind. आपके दिमाग में बहुत सारा डाउट बन रहा होगा. आप इसको अभी रीड मत करो, leave it. Okay, after 1 month you'll be able to solve, you'll be able to understand this article, because इसमें सिर्फ हमें ये नहीं समझना है, we have to understand how the markets operate. तो हमें जो interest rate system है वो समझना पड़ेगा. Okay, so वो सारा समझना पड़ेगा. Is that okay? आप इस आर्टिकल को पढ़ लेना. अगर नहीं समझ में आया, don't worry, I'm going to explain this article. Why? Because you have to understand the monetary policy and you have to understand inflation. आप दोनों को टॉपिक को समझना पड़ेगा. This monetary policy requires me 2 lectures. Inflation requires me 1.5 lectures. Okay, so मुझे at least 3 lectures चाहिए होगा to explain you entirely. Okay, so this article was there in a Hindu, so that is why I have covered it. But अभी आप इसको छोड़ दो and I'll come back to this because अभी हम लोग इतने टाइम से समझा रहे हैं, but I'm sure a lot of people are having a doubts. So what is stagflation? Is a concept which means that stagnation plus inflation. So India, अगर इस आर्टिकल को समझना है, is India going through stagflation, which means हमारी इकोनॉमी stagnant है, which means economic growth is less, and we have inflation also. आप देखो ना, अभी महंगाई भी ज्यादा है और इकोनॉमी is not working, economy is not doing so well. No, it is a vicious cycle. Because हम जब डिमांड, हमें इकोनॉमी डाउन है, इकोनॉमी इज डाउन, which means we have to increase demand. अभी गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है? इंक्रीज डिमांड, लेट्स इंक्रीज डिमांड. बट आप जैसी डिमांड बढ़ाओगे तो इन्फ्लेशन ही बढ़ जाएगा, एंड ऑलरेडी इन्फ्लेशन इज हाई, सो इन्फ्लेशन और हाई हो जाएगा. ओके, so it is a vicious cycle. You try to control the economy, inflation goes up. You try to reduce the inflation, economy goes down. Because अगर आपको sorry, if you try to control the economic growth, inflation will also be controlled. तो ये सारे parameters हैं at this point of time. So this article, leave it for now. Tomorrow I'll be starting internal security. So what I'll do, that I'll try to cover maybe, because मुझे इसको समझाने के लिए बहुत टाइम चाहिए, and I'm sure you people must be having a lot of doubt. So right now you leave this article, you read this article, but wherever जहां समझ में नहीं आए, you just leave it for a while. Okay, is that okay to everybody? Okay, fair enough. And one more thing, guys, the question paper which came economics, every question, अगर आप अभी आप सॉल्व मत करना इकोनॉमिक्स, अभी क्वेश्चन मत सॉल्व करना यूपीएससी का, बट इन दिसंबर, आई थिंक बाय मिड ऑफ दिसंबर or at the max by end of December, economics will be I'll be able to complete the economics. Many students ask me, sir, क्या क्या आगे होगा? So try and understand. In the coming internal security is going to start, and after internal security is a small topic of maybe 7-8 lectures. After internal security, you'll have geography will start around of 25th of October. Neeraj sir is going to take geography, and geography will go on for almost 2 months. along with economics. मैम का पॉलिटी खत्म होगा, then economics will start, and geography. So these two subjects will go on in the November and December month, and after that, history, ethics, that will be going on. So we are completely on track in terms of syllabus. आप घबराना नहीं, just follow the system and follow the lectures regularly. बेटा ऑप्शनल का क्लास अलग से होगा, ऑप्शनल का क्लास जीएस में नहीं होगा ना. Okay, so let's understand. Now let's understand this second topic. This is also technical topic, but समझ में आ जाएगा. Now what happens? Let's say bank give loan to businesses, but the business are not able to pay loan, not able to pay. Okay, so then ये जो loan हो जाते हैं वो NPA हो जाते हैं. It is called non-performing assets. So if you take loan from banks, bank जो loan देती है, whatever loan bank earns from this, and that is why it is called asset. It is an asset for bank. If you don't pay for 90 days, आप 90 days तक principal plus interest, if you don't pay principal plus interest, then your bank account becomes NPA, which means comes in the red category. Further, if you're not able to pay, if you are not able to pay, amount further, then what happens? The company, comes under red, and here, since the company का जो भी property है, जो loan लिया होगा, उन्होंने mortgage लिया होगा, that all is with banks. Now let's say company is going down, company is not performing. So what do? Now bank का NPA बढ़ गया है. So one way the bank क्या करता है, that bank, in order to recover the loan, bank might follow a process of involving a new company. वो एक नई कंपनी को इन्वॉल्व करेंगे, and that company is called Asset Reconstruction Company, ARC. Okay, तो बैंक क्या करता है, कुछ इस तरह से करता है. So let's say there is a borrower, the firm is a borrower, and it takes loan from the banks. Banks से loan लिया. Okay, this financial institution is loan. Then, but when bank gives you loan, banks will, borrower आपको कुछ security भी देना पड़ेगा. You have to mortgage property, you have to mortgage the share of the companies, whatever. Okay, आपको कुछ mortgage, you have to mortgage some land if you have. जो भी asset है आप mortgage करोगे. Now this whole loan becomes NPA. ये loan NPA हो जाता है. This borrower is not able to pay loan. Now bank, फंस जाता है. बैंक को समझ नहीं आता क्या करे. If you ask the borrower कहता है, अरे my business is going down, I can't pay you. क्या नहीं, आपको पे करना पड़ेगा. क्या नहीं, I can't pay. Then what bank can say that, okay, let's hire a company which is called ARC, Asset Reconstruction Company. और बैंक क्या करेगा, वो बैंक जो है सारा लोन जो है, whatever the NPA is there, वो सारा लोन इस ARC को ट्रांसफर कर देगा. Okay, the whole loan, the NPA will be transferred to the ARC, और ARC बैंक को कैश दे देगा. And now ARC will handle this. फिर ARC क्या करेगा? They have multiple options. Mostly they will try to sell the security. जो भी उनका ये security मिला है उसको बेचने की कोशिश करेंगे, and they will try to recover the money. Okay, so that is how asset reconstruction companies come. When bank का जब NPA बढ़ जाता है, when the bank is not able to recover the loan which they have given, they can hire or they can give or they can make a ARC, and that ARC will take the loan. ठीक है, ये जो भी लोन है इसको हम bad loan कह सकते हैं. Okay, so we can say it is a bad loan. The bad loan is taken by ARC, and ARC will try to recover it. Okay, so very good question. Ashish says, what is there to ARC? ARC recover करती है at multiple ways. ARC will try to recover the money along with the income also. वो डबल रिकवरी की कोशिश करेंगे। और ऐसा नहीं है कि बैंक का पूरा एनपीए एआरसी को चला जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं कि बैंक पूरा 100% रिकवरी करा लेगा। बैंक माइट से दैट ओके रिकवर 70%। ओके, ओके, गर्व हैज अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। गर्व का कहना है सर आई कांट अंडरस्टैंड why someone will take another's debt. Well, ARC is basically, ARC can be a private company also. ARC can be is a company which might be government made company also. उनका पर्पज ही है, ARC का पर्पज ही है टू रिजॉल्व सच इश्यूज। बिकॉज बैंक का काम क्या है? बैंक का काम बिजनेस कराना है, बिजनेस को लोन देना है, अपना रूटीन काम करना है। बैंक रिकवरी करना इज नॉट देयर डोमेन, बिकॉज दे फेस वेरी प्रॉब्लम। उनका रनिंग अ कंपनी इज नॉट देयर डोमेन। ARC might also you know ARC might also face ARC has specialized people, remember they are specialized people जिनका काम ही होगा वो ऐसा रिकवरी में कोशिश करेंगे। So Mahima has so they do it for earning more percentage of commission. Yes, that is also an option. But remember, चीजें इतना simple नहीं है। Now tell me one thing. This concept आपको समझ में आया? I'll explain how the whole things work. But this basic concept is clear, everybody. This basic concept of bank not able to recover the loan and it gives to ARC, and what ARC does. ARC कई बार वो कंपनी किसी और को भी बेच सकता है। बट इट इज नॉट सो सिंपल, रूल इज नॉट सो सिंपल। रूल में एक और नया एंगल आ जाता है। नया एंगल क्या आता है? नाउ देयर आर बैंक के पास, सॉरी, जो फर्म होता है, कंपनी होता है, दे हैव टू काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स। वन इज द इक्विटी दे हैव, इक्विटी मतलब शेयर्स। द सेकंड इज दे हैव अ लोन, जिसको हम लोग डेट बोलते हैं। नॉर्मली एआरसी क्या करता है? एआरसी हैव टू पार्टनर, उनको एक पार्टनर ढूंढना पड़ता है, एंड दैट पार्टनर कुड बी अ कंपनी, एंड दैट कंपनी टेक्स द इक्विटी। वो सारा इक्विटी हम इस कंपनी को ट्रांसफर कर देते हैं, शेयर, और ये जो लोन है ना वो एआरसी को चला जाता है। So this is a common practice. Now the equity is transferred to the company. Now ARC will try to sell the asset of the company. ARC will try to sell the assets of the company, and they will try to recover the loan. Now company जो है, ये जो firm है, वो उस कंपनी को चलाएगा। A new company वो उस कंपनी को चलाने की कोशिश करेगा, and they will try to sell the asset to recover the loan. तो दोनों का रोल अलग अलग है, remember. Equity, so ARC will have to partner with the company which will run the equity part. वो शेयर कंपनी का ले लेंगे, and the recovery will be done by the ARC. So this is a common practice, but this common practice is not doing well. और उसी पर एक आर्टिकल लिखा, and this article was written by Indian Banks: A Time to Reform, and it was written by V. Acharya and Raghuram Rajan. तो Raghuram Rajan and V. Acharya ने एक आर्टिकल लिखा, and that article said that ये system where when the NPA goes up and you assign an ARC, and ARC taking the loan, but ARC have to partner with the company जो equity ले रहा है, ये this system is not good. What they are saying that ARC का जो track record है, it is poor. They are hardly able to recover not more than 10% of the लोन। वो जितना भी होता है वो 10% ज्यादा उनका सक्सेस रेट नहीं है। सो व्हाट दे आर सेइंग दैट ये जो कंपनी को आप इक्विटी शेयर कर रहे हो, डोंट डू इट विद कंपनी, गिव इट टू द एआरसी इटसेल्फ। बिकॉज अगर मान लो कंपनी टर्न अराउंड हो जाता है, लेट्स से कंपनी टर्न अराउंड, कंपनी इज डाउन, बट इट माइट टर्न अराउंड, राइट? बिजनेस माइट इंप्रूव, maybe company is following some not following some good practice, okay, so that might turn around also. So that is that is also one of the aspect. But अगर कंपनी टर्न अराउंड हो जाता है, देन व्हाट इज एआरसी को क्या गेन मिलेगा? एआरसी को तो कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा। एआरसी ने तो सिर्फ लोन लिया और लोन को वापस करा दिया। ये कंपनी को गेन मिल रहा है, राइट? बिकॉज कंपनी का, मान लो कंपनी ने जो शेयर 10 रुपए खरीदा होगा, एंड दैट शेयर हैज गॉन अप टू 15 रुपीज, सो द 10 रुपीज शेयर हैज गॉन अप टू 15 रुपीज। नाउ दिस इज गुड, This is good. Why this is good? Because मेरा जो 10 रुपए का शेयर है 15 है, तो कंपनी इज गेनिंग, ARC is not gaining. So this article is discussing that why don't we extend of the role of the ARC and ensure that ARC get the equity also. उनको equity का part मिलना चाहिए. Because अगर company turnaround होती है, then ARC will also benefit here. ARC को ही benefit मिलेगा. ARC भी earn करेगा. Let's say they can partner with the company, but they should also give an equity, right? And that should be the way forward. यहां तक समझ में आया everybody? Up to here, everything is understood to everybody? Okay, fair enough. Now, I'll explain the whole history of the background. ये पूरा background क्या है समझते हैं? And I hope conceptually you have understood. So let's. In a recently released paper, Indian Banks to Reform, they argued for a greater role of ARC, asset recognition companies. बेटा ARC will always recover loan. अभी का जो present rule है, Devashish says the question, sir, ARC will try to develop the asset first. No, developing the asset first is a role of asset नहीं, developing a company. Asset is different. So developing a company or improving the company will be done by a new company. ARC will try to recover the loan. वो loan recovery focus करेंगे. Asset आप बना नहीं सकते, जो asset already existing है वही रहेगा, asset नया नहीं बनेगा. Okay, so in a recently released paper, they argued for a greater role of ARC. They argued that when there is a fewer bid in bankruptcy auction, the value of loan is better realized if read an asset, ARC takes over borrower and places under new management. तो होता क्या है, ARC कंपनी को ले लेता है and they put under new management. नया management आ जाता है. Okay? RBI limited the role of ARC to participate in resolution in IBC only by partnering with an equity investor, which is a resolution applicant. तो वो क्या करेंगे? ARC have to partner with a equity investor. वो एक equity investor ढूंढेंगे जो उन शेयर्स को खरीदे. They can purchase a share of the company. Because जो old company का जो team है उनसे ले लिया जाएगा. If the applicant succeed, the equity investor would acquire the shares and ARC trust will acquire the debt. ARC debt ले लेगा and equity जो है वो एक company को दे देंगे. Now you must be having a doubt that इसमें ARC को loss हो रहा है. Remember, ARC might not recover 100%. ARC might recover 40%, might recover 30%, whatever. We don't know how much ARC will recover. So it is an effort made by ARC. उनका target होता है कि 100% recover कर ले. कई बार रिकवरी नहीं होता है, बट एटलीस्ट बेटर देन जीरो रिकवरी, राइट? बिकॉज अगर बैंक, मान लो बैंक ने 100 करोड़ लोन दिया है और ये लोन फंस गया है, सो बैंक कहता है, बाद में बैंक जब ARC को देगा तो ARC से कहेगा यार ये 100 करोड़ का लोन है, 100 करोड़ का इंटरेस्ट भी हो गया, मान लो 200 करोड़ हो गया, तो बैंक कहेगा अरे यार इस 200 करोड़ में मुझे आप 150 करोड़ भी मिल जाएगा तो आई एम ओके, 50 करोड़ मेरा लॉस हो जाएगा. बट इफ दैट 150 crore is not coming, then whole 200 crore will be lost. So ideally they do not want that, or ideally it would not be a situation where 100% recovery will happen. Recovery पूरा नहीं होगा, but recovery जो भी होगा वो recovery होना चाहिए. ARC will try to recover almost everything and they will try to revive the company also. वो company को turn around करने को कोशिश करेंगे through the equity investor. वो equity investor के through जो है वो turn around करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Okay, so that is how they try to do that. और turn around करने में भी company का performance improve होगा. Okay, the company's performance improves and maybe recovery might happen. So that is how the whole thing happens. But इस पूरे story में the problem is that ARC का सिर्फ इतना role है that they have to recover the loan and their role is ended. They don't get the benefit of turnaround of the company. What if company turn around? मेरे लिए incentive क्या है? What is the incentive? My incentive is that I should not only recover the loan, but if the company turns around, I should get the income also from that turnaround. So that is what this article is saying. The article is saying that ARC should be given the share of the equity also. Equity मतलब अगर share में भी उनको value होना चाहिए, share में भी उनका, they should have a share in the equity, that is share markets. Okay, Antima has a question. Uncovered amount will be bad debts for bank or ARC. Uncovered amount will be loss of the bank. Antima, जो uncovered जो भी loan नहीं आता है, so it might become the loss of the bank. Some stakeholders are asking for extending the role of ARC by allowing to directly invest in the equity of the company through IBC resolution and likely private, just like private equity fund. अच्छा, एक और होता है private equity fund. ये क्या होता है? There are certain companies, उनका काम क्या होता है? They are called private equity fund. उनका काम करता है, they always look for weak companies. और ये weak companies को purchase कर लेते हैं. And they try to turn around the company. वो company को turn around करते हैं. मान लो they purchase the company in 10 crore and they will take, उन्होंने 2 years तक company को अपने पास रखा. They turn around the company and this company becomes 100 crore. Now they will sell it. Okay, so that is how they generate profit. Okay, that is how it will be profit. Okay, no, वो अंतिम वेवर नहीं होगा बेटा, वो वेवर तो माफ करना होता है. इट विल बी लॉस ऑन द बैंक अकाउंट. बाद में गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया उसको पे कर देगा, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग. बट अगर प्राइवेट बैंक है तो वो लॉस होगा, राइट? ओके, सो सम स्टेक होल्डर्स are asking extend the role of ARC by directly invest in the equity of distressed companies through IBC resolution, just like private equity fund. RBI does not appear to favor such extended role of ARC. तो इनका ये कहना है कि IRC को और आप इंसेंटिव दो so that they also have the share in the company and that should be the way forward. But RBI ऐसा नहीं कर रहा है. Why? Because the ARC have a poor track record. उनका जो track record है अभी तक का वो poor रह गया है and that is where it is important. At the time of Asian financial crisis, ये 1997 में हुआ था. इंडियन एनपीए स्टूड एट 14.4%. ठीक है, मान लो अगर 100 करोड़ लोन दिया है, सो ऑलमोस्ट 14.4% इज नॉन रिकवरी, रिकवर नहीं हुआ है, नॉट रिकवर्ड. सो दिस इज एनपीए. सो दिस इज 14.4% इज वेरी बैड फिगर. व्हाई? बिकॉज बैंक्स ऑपरेट ऑन अ वेरी स्मॉल मार्जिन. बैंक 1-2% के मार्जिन पे ऑपरेट करते हैं. अगर 2%, 3-4% भी हो सकता है, डिपेंड्स ऑन पोर्टफोलियो टू पोर्टफोलियो. अगर इनका एनपीए 5-6% क्रॉस करता है, देन इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. बैंक के लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा. एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे हैव टू कीप एनपीए लो. उनको कम से कम एनपीए को रखना चाहिए. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट दिस आर्टिकल इज सेइंग. दिस आर्टिकल इज सेइंग दैट नाउ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, आरबीआई शुड गिव पावर टू द एआरसी सो दैट दे कैन हैव शेयर इन द इक्विटी आल्सो. ओके, अर्लियर इसमें पूरा हिस्ट्री मेंशन है दैट अर्लियर देयर वर नो प्रोसेस. देन रिकवरी के लिए सारफेसी एक्ट आया. ओके, मल्टीपल प्राइवेट एआरसी आया, modest success mila. Okay, but overall ARC does not have a good record, but they are saying that in spite of the whatever could be the situation, agar company turn around hoti hai aur अच्छा करती है, then ARC should also get the benefit of that. Okay, so the ARC का जो ecosystem है उनका कोई incentive नहीं है, and that should be. So we need to extend the role of ARC by giving them equity share along with debt. अभी डेट उन्होंने वापस कर दिया, लेट्स से, एंड कंपनी डज वेल, सो दे माइट गेट द बेनिफिट ऑफ इक्विटी आल्सो. एआरसी कैन बी गवर्नमेंट एज वेल एज प्राइवेट, इट डिपेंड्स. एआरसी गवर्नमेंट भी का भी हो सकता है, इट कैन बी ऑफ प्राइवेट एज वेल. अंडर गवर्नमेंट बॉडी ऐसे नहीं होता है, देयर आर मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस आर देयर. ओके, इट माइट बी अंडर गवर्नमेंट, इट माइट बी प्राइवेट एंटिटी. एआरसी आपको हम, अब आप रेडी हो गए एआरसी बनने के लिए, आपको हम देंगे. ओके, सो दिस व्हाट दिस होल आर्टिकल इज टॉकिंग अबाउट. एंड ये आईबीसी, अभी क्या होता है जब कंपनी लॉस में जाती है, व्हेन कंपनी जब बैंकरप्ट होती है, सो देन वी हैव अ बॉडी कॉल्ड आईबीसी, इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंकरप्सी कोड. ये एक लॉ है. Under this law, the whole thing is operated. Is it clear? इसको पढ़ लेना आप. कोई डाउट होगा तो कल मैं डिस्कस कर लूंगा. If ARC are allowed to directly participate in IBC resolution by infusing equity, they could emerge as the most efficient vehicle of turning into distressed Indian companies. Now यहाँ पर एक और चीज है, debt and equity मैंने डिस्कस कर दिया है. Equity is the share of the company, and debt could be in the form of bonds. Okay, so equity is the share of the company. For example, you have 1% equity of the company, so that means you have 1% shareholder. 1% shareholder है. If your equity is more than 50%, then you become owner. बिकॉज आपका जैसे शेयर होल्डिंग 50% से ऊपर हो जाएगा, आप ओनर बन जाओगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल Mukesh Ambani, he has a equity more than 80%, I think, in the Reliance. Okay, so he and his family is the owner of the company because they have more than 80% of the share of the company. So that is called equity. Debt is basically company raising loan. Okay, जो जिनके पास इक्विटी ज्यादा होता है वो ओनर बन जाते हैं. So equity, largest shareholder 50% more are become the owner of the company, and debt is a form of borrowed capital. So bank firms क्या करते हैं, they borrow capital. तो borrow कहां से करेंगे? Either from bank. Now this can be in the form of loan, or the bank can issue bonds. They can issue bonds and debentures. So this is also like a debt. Because ये जो bond and debenture है, what exactly is a bond and debenture? ये bond and debenture के through banks, firms raise money. And if you purchase the bond, मान लो आपने bond purchase किया, so let's say the bond is of 5 year, and you'll get 8% every year. 8% to 10% आपको interest every year मिलेगा. Let's say I'm giving an example, 8-10%. And after 5 year, मान लो आपने 1 lakh का bond खरीदा, so every year you get 8 to 10%. After 5 year, this 1 lakh will be returned to you. Okay, so this is the concept of bond and equity. I'll cover this in the capital market and money market. अच्छा, one more thing guys, you must be having a doubt, yes, share market कैसे काम करता है, stock market कैसे काम करता है. So I'll be covering all those concepts. Okay, these are technical concepts, but I'll be explaining everything, how the markets work, how they operate, what are the problems. Okay, सारा technicality, you'll be able to understand every word of that. Okay, so that is the debt and equity concept. You can read that. Now GST Council. So what is the GST Council? So GST is basically it's a tax which is shared by center and the state government. Okay, so basically it merges 17 taxes of India and there's one tax. But this GST का पूरा जो management है, who manages the whole GST system, is decided by a body called GST Council. And GST Council is a constitutional body. Constitution में उसका mention है as per Article 279A. GST Council is a joint forum, and it is the chairman of GST Council is finance minister. Okay, and GST Council क्या करता है? That every month, or mostly I think I have to check, हर 2 month पे होना चाहिए. But I think every few days पे they meet and they decide the problems in GST, the new tax rate. Okay, तो ये क्या करते हैं? GST decides that what should be the new tax rate, exemption क्या होना चाहिए, क्या change करना चाहिए. और ये GST Council में 1/3 power is of the central government and 2/3 power is of the state government. Okay, so votes of all state government taken together shall have weightage of 2/3 and 1/3 would be of. Okay, so GST Council के जो members कौन कौन होते हैं? Union Finance Minister is the chairman. Union Finance Minister of State will be the charge of Revenue of Finance. And हर state government से the Minister of Finance of the state government, they'll also be members. So these are the members of GST Council. Okay, and it is a federal body which addresses the indirect tax system. It is an apex body to modify, reconcile any law or regulation based on the condition of GST. ठीक है, ये क्या decide करते हैं? What is the tax rate? Exemption they will decide, due date they will decide. They might change the existing tax laws of GST, tax deadlines only relate to GST. Okay, the primary responsibility of GST Council is to ensure that one uniform tax rates for goods and service across the nation. So that is the body of GST, and GST is under Article 279 of A of the Constitution. The council will make recommendation to the union and the state government on the important issues like GST, such as goods and services, and will be subject or exempted from GST. Okay, they lay down GST laws, place of supply, threshold limit, GST rates, special rates, how to raise additional revenue, कैसे निकालना चाहिए अगर disaster अगर हो, special rates for certain states. So that all is the body which is GST Council. So GST Council, you can you can understand that this is the role of GST Council. Is it clear to everybody? Okay, so Ashish has a good question. Ashish has a question: what are the possible sources from where the states can borrow? States can borrow from RBI. States can borrow from government. So they can borrow from RBI as per there are a lot of rules. Okay, there is concept of WMA, ways and means advances. Okay, उसमें borrow कर सकते हैं. The state can borrow from government of India. So these are two sources broadly. अगर स्टेट को किसी और से एक्सटर्नल सोर्स से अगर बोरो करना होगा, लेट्स से वर्ल्ड बैंक, so that will be routed through government of India. Government of India will approve that. Okay, so state does not have a power to borrow directly from from external sources. ठीक है, आशीष क्लियर हुआ? They can borrow from RBI under the rule defined by RBI. They can borrow from government of India. They can borrow from external agencies also, but they have to be approved by government of India. Okay, अभी इतना ही समझो. ये मैं there is a topic called public debt. ठीक है, इसमें मैं पूरा एक्सप्लेन करूंगा स्टेट का डेट कैसे होता है. दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट बजटिंग, दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स, एंड एवरी ईयर यू गेट 2 क्वेश्चंस ऑन दिस. इस साल भी 2-3 क्वेश्चन आया है फ्रॉम व्हाटएवर वी डिस्कस इन द क्लास. ओके, सो डोंट वरी, ये सारा टेक्निकलिटी क्लियर हो जाएगा. सो दिस जीएसटी काउंसिल, so that is the concept. आज का जो क्लास है, I'm going to take a small class. I have some personal work, so I'll finish the class at 7:30. If I'm not able to cover the topics that that are supposed to be covered, then tomorrow I'll be covering the topics in the class from 6:30, and then after we'll start with the internal security. Internal security का topic अगर पूरा internal security module will start tomorrow, but I'll take the current affair if I'm not able to cover them properly. Okay. Now legal challenges the Farm Act. अभी आप लोग पता होगा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया पास 3 फार्म एक्ट्स, एंड ओके, गुड क्वेश्चन, आई विल कम टू दैट. सो फार्म एक्ट, फार्मर प्रोड्यूस टेरर, तो ये 3 लॉ पास किए. बट इफ यू रिमेंबर एग्रीकल्चर जो है, सो वी हैव अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ डिविजन ऑफ पावर, and a division of power, the laws can be made by the central government and the state government. The laws, and this is the federal system hota hai. The central government can make laws in the areas of certain list, and these lists are given the 7th schedule of the constitution. As per this list, the central government can make law in the union list. There are 100 items. The state government can make law in the state list, and both central and state government can make laws in the concurrent list. अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, that ये जो 3 laws पास हुए हैं, few states like Punjab and Haryana, Punjab mainly, they have a problem, and they are saying that these laws which are passed by the government of India, it is actually the domain of state list. वो state list का domain है, and government of India cannot pass in the state list. Now, does government of India, does constitution of India allows state government, allows parliament of India to pass law in state subject? Yes, it does. ऐसा नहीं कि उनको allowed नहीं है, but there are certain there are certain warnings here. There are certain things have to be looked into, because what it says that agriculture is a state subject. Yani agricultural laws in India will be passed by the state government as entry 14. ये जो पूरा list है, so there are 61 items in state list. Okay, and then we have a concurrent list where both can pass law. तो इसमें कितने हैं? 52 items. And central government can make laws in the union list where there are 100 items. अभी यहाँ union government law pass करेगा, यहाँ पे state government law pass करेगा, and here both will pass laws. Okay, so एग्रीकल्चर इज इन द लिस्ट 14. ये जो 52 आइटम 61 आइटम से 14 नंबर पे है. Entry 26 in the refers to trade and commerce within state. Now this is also related to agriculture. This is also related to agricultural trade and commerce, because the law जो है वो agriculture trade and commerce जुड़ा हुआ है. Farmer produce agriculture trade and commerce. Then entry 27 refers to production, supply and distribution of goods. Okay, Entry 28 refers to market and fair. तो ये सारा जो whatever these laws are there, remember these all relates to the areas of agriculture, agriculture trading, agriculture supply chain, everything. So government, what state governments are saying, few state governments, especially Punjab, that whatever you have done, you actually आप हमारे domain में आके आपने law बनाया है, and this is not allowed. But it is not so simple. It is not so simple. Why? Because in concurrent list, both central government and state government can make law. अगर concurrent list में state government law pass करता है, तो central government can override it. और अब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अगर लॉ पास करता है तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पास नहीं कर सकता, व्हिच मींस इन द कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट वेयर बोथ हैव पावर्स, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज मोर पावर. व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, एक एंट्री 33 है, ओके, सो देयर आर 52 आइटम्स इन द कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट. तो इन द एंट्री 33 में क्या लिखा हुआ है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज इन्वोक्ड एंट्री 33 इन द कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट 3. एंट्री 27, अब इसमें ये लाइन देखो, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंट्री 26 एंड 27 इन लिस्ट 2 आर लिस्टेड एज सब्जेक्ट टू प्रोविजंस ऑफ लिस्ट एंट्री 33 ऑफ द लिस्ट 3. यानी जो ये लिस्ट 2 है, जो स्टेट लिस्ट है, इसका 26 एंड 27 आइटम आर लिस्टेड एज सब्जेक्ट टू द प्रोविजन ऑफ एंट्री 33 इन द लिस्ट. और ये जो नया लॉ बनाया है इज एज पर द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ एज पर एंट्री 33. ओके, व्हिच मींस अभी ये कौन सा है 26 27, व्हिच मींस ट्रेड एंड सप्लाई, बोथ ऑफ देम, ट्रेड, कॉमर्स, स्टेट एंड सप्लाई. ये दोनों जो लॉ पास स्टेट गवर्नमेंट करता है, that might be overridden by the central government by using entry 33 of the concurrent list. Yani this is a technicality says that actually what this has been misused by central government. जो experts का कहना है that central government entry 33 का misuse कर रहा है and they are reducing the power of the state in the by invoking entry 33. ठीक है, यहां तक क्लियर हुआ सबको? everybody clear? Clear, everything is clear to everybody? जब कोमल मैम आपको सेंटर स्टेट रिलेशंस पढ़ाएंगी, when she'll teach you center state relations, then you'll understand this better. Okay, fair enough. So basically one question comes in that whatever these laws are, एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि जो laws जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने बनाया है, this all is agricultural law and agricultural law is a state area. The central government should not pass a law, but in this case specifically, government of India has invoked a provision of the constitution which somewhere delimits the power of the state government. और इस पे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स बहुत नाराज है, स्पेशली पंजाब, बिकॉज पंजाब में जो ये पूरा मार्केट मंडी सिस्टम था, इट वाज वेरी स्ट्रांगली वर्किंग. ठीक है, अब व्हाट विल हैपन नाउ व्हेनेवर देयर इज अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन सेंट्रल एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट for any of the thing, it will go to the Supreme Court and Supreme Court will decide. So the legal experts are saying, some experts are saying that central government has the power. Some experts are saying we'll see how what Supreme Court says. Okay, so it will have to debate it. So entry 33 in the present form was inserted in list 3 after in 1954. तो entry 33 जब entry किया गया constitution में in the third amendment, so many people questioned it. उनका ये कहना था कि this entry 33 can be used by the government of India and it can reduce the power of the state. Okay, and heated debate happened around that time. Okay, and this is what it has been the case here. Okay, और इसके बेस पे बहुत debate हुआ, almost like dissent kind of happened between central and the state governments, but still the central government was able to pass this law. Okay, और article 369 में ये लिखा हुआ है that responsibility of agriculture, trade and commerce within a state was temporarily entrusted to the union government for 5 years and then it was brought to the central state government. ठीक है, तो अभी इनका ये कहना है that you are actually, if you use this provision, अगर आप इस provision को use करते हैं, which means actually you will make, it is actually equivalent to unitary constitution. यानी आप you are trying to reduce the power of the central government, power of the state government by invoking a provision and making central government more powerful. ठीक है, तो उनका कहना है कि हमारा पावर आप खत्म करोगे, you will हमारा जो वॉइस है उसको भी आप रिड्यूस कर दोगे, but that has already happened. So we'll see what Supreme Court will have to say. ये केस जाएगा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में and that is what debate is happening. So there are a lot of Supreme Court judgment related to the cases. and few cases have been there where जो judgments आए हैं, Supreme Court has in few favored the state governments. Okay, but what my understanding is, here central government is very smart. They have used the provision in such a smart way that central government, the Supreme Court is going to give favor to the to the central government only. State government को कोई फायदा नहीं मिलने वाला है, but still they will go and fight in the for this. Okay, so we have certain cases where in the agricultural area, central government tried to pass a law, and where the Supreme Court looked into that issue, and eventually it was given to the it was given in the favor of the state government. So ये कुछ cases हैं, you can read the cases. It was unwise on the part of the center to use NT 33 in the list 3 to push the farm bills. Such adventurism weakens the spirit of federal cooperation that India needs in this hour of crisis. So that is the concept of farm acts. This topic is clear. This topic is clear. Okay, so let's move forward. Now, public place cannot be occupied as indefinitely. Now, Supreme Court gave a judgment in the background of CAA protest, and this CAA protest happened in Delhi, and a very important road on DND flyover, near DND flyover, that is Delhi Noida Direct. This DND flyover is a very famous flyover which connects Noida to Delhi, Noida to South Delhi. Okay, so it's a big flyover of 7-8 kilometers, and this connects Noida to South Delhi. Now, so because of this CA protest, the CA protesters, they almost blocked one side of the DND flyover in a certain section. A certain section mein, they blocked one part of the flyover, and that is that was called Shaheen Bagh protest. So that Shaheen Bagh protest went for months, okay, months, and people even. And I was my office was our office was not in that route, but many of my friends who were commuting from South Delhi to Noida every day, they had hell of a problem, because everybody had to had to travel 1.5 hour extra just because of this protest. So what Supreme Court is saying, that you cannot do this. Protest karna is legal, protest is legal, dissent is legal, right to have an opinion is legal, right to have a dissent is also open, and it is a fundamental of right of every individual. But you should not do where the public utilities are impacted. So occupation of public ways of protest isn't acceptable, and they should not to take action to keep the areas clear of encroachment and obstructions. We hope such situation does not arise in future. Protests aren't permitted to get out of hand. The courts adjudicate legality of the action and not are meant to give the shoulder to the administration to fire their guns from. कुछ लोगों का ये भी कहना है that the government, जो administration था, they did not use properly. They tried to negotiate, they tried to do everything, but ये Shaheen Bagh protesters, they were in thousands. There were thousands, and they were not trying to move. So this is what had happened. Eventually, जब ये COVID-19 आया, so they were forced to remove because Section 144 was imposed. Okay, so right to protest is the manifestation of right to freedom of assembly, right to freedom of association. Okay, but under all these provision, you have to right to protest peacefully, but you can't impose public destruction or maybe whatever. Okay, but remember, every right, every fundamental rights come with a reasonable restriction. Okay, so you can assemble peacefully without arms, but at the same time, आप कहाँ assemble करोगे? That is also what Supreme Court Justice has said. जैसे उन्होंने कहा है कि ये protest जो हुआ है वो तो ठीक है, there is nothing wrong in the protest, but not, it should not impact the public, it should not should impact the regular work. Okay, so this blockage of public way caused a lot of inconvenience to the commuters, and they should be addressed. Okay, so this is what Supreme Court has said, and they say that reasonable restrictions do exist in practice, and we have to ensure the balance of right to protester with right to commuter. Right to commuter भी तो impact हो रहा था, अगर right to protester है तो right to commuter, so they have to exist in harmony. Okay. Okay, so the court held that it was entirely responsibility of administration to prevent such encroachment in the public places. So this is the public places encroachment. I hope this is clear. Now this is a scheme for production linked scheme. It is in the electronics department, Ministry of Electronics. Okay, Prithvi. Okay, so let's stop. There are 2-3 topics are there. I'll take some questions, then I'll close for the day. Let's continue this class tomorrow because I'm sure there are a lot of doubts. I'll take some doubts and then we'll close for the day. Okay, कल का 1 घंटे का क्लास जो होगा वो करंट अफेयर पे ही होगा, and then I'll clear all your doubts. So first doubt which Prithvi has said that sir, welfare is important or development is important. I think Prithvi, both are important, and I would retort by a statement that welfare is also a form of development. Okay, so welfare is also a form of development. Development informs welfare. Okay, development involves welfare only. Prithvi is saying one more question, sir. Chief Justice of Supreme Court is appointed by President, and President is appointed directly by majority party. Why Chief Justice is against majority party? No, see. Try and understand. Supreme Court, judiciary is independent. I know who appoints judiciary members. It is appointed by judiciary only. Okay, it is appointed by judiciary only. Only thing is that it is done by President of India in nominal sense. The judges of Supreme Court or High Court, they are appointed by a collegium system. Under collegium system, there are a group of judges who give recommendation to the government of India. और ये collegium system का जो recommendation होता है, it is binding to the government. Government मना नहीं कर सकता है. So it is not true. Judiciary is independent. Judiciary is free. It is not about, and we can't say that whatever government is doing all the time is correct. Government has power. Now you read fundamental right. You must have understood that government has power. So government can do something. It can limit your power as well. So जो भी government कर रही है ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि सही हो. And that is where Supreme Court is there. Parliament of India is there. Okay, and they both will try to bring some check and balance. Okay. So we have, because the concept of 3 organs of the government is just one organ, which is called executive. There are 2 other organs are Parliament of India, and other organ, which is legislature, and other is the judiciary. So both Parliament of India and judiciary will try to have a check and balance over the executive, which is government of India. Is that clear, Prithvi? This concept is clear. It is not about opposing government decision or favoring. It is about what is right, what is constitutionally right. That is more important. जो सही है वो करेंगे. It is not that I'm government, so I'll do whatever I'm doing is going to be correct. Okay. So you can ask one or two more questions, then I'll take it tomorrow. Any more questions? Anybody? Read this thing. Tomorrow I'll take, if I come to, we have covered, this is a technical topic. So what I'll do, we have covered, this we have covered, this we have covered, and 5th we have covered. So I'll cover this labor code and H1B visa, and I will try to cover topic 1 also. It is big topic, but I'll try to cover. Okay, so these topics will take some 15-20 minutes. 20 minutes. Then I'll try to cover this topic again. Okay, I'll try to give you some insight. Is that okay? And then we'll start with the internal security. Okay, so I have to go somewhere. That is why I have a doctor's appointment. So that is the reason I have. Okay. Santosh, GST is good for India. Purpose of GST. Okay, I'll teach GST, Santosh. Then you can ask this question. Okay. Let me complete GST. I'll take one question on GST. Ankit, तुम्हारा क्या question है? Okay, let me see your question. Ankit has a question. Okay, what is your question? पूरा लोन एनपीए में जाता है, जितनी इंस्टॉलमेंट डिफॉल्ट उतना जाता है. पूरा लोन बेटा जितना लोन एनपीए होगा उतना ही जाएगा ना. Okay. Ankit is asking the whole loan goes into NPA. Whatever you have not paid, that is the loan, right? whatever is the debt, that is the, that will go into NPA, right? Let's say आपने 6 लाख का लोन लिया है and you paid 5 lakh rupees, 1 lakh is left, तो 1 lakh NPA में चला जाएगा. बैंक wants entire money, so इस 1 lakh पे आपका NPA हो जाएगा. Okay. Okay, so that is all for today, guys. Thank you very much. Let's meet tomorrow. Okay, chalo, take care.